Welcome back to Vice Pod. My name is Kyle. This is my friend Raysean.
Yo, what's good? Boy.
And this is our friend Dave. What's up, Dave?
Howdy.
Dave's here, man. Dave's here. We're doing an r/ask Reddit today. It is, who is the most famous person that you've ever met? What famous person have you met, and how did the interaction go? I have a couple of these, but I feel like they come up like once every 4 or 5 episodes. I don't know if I necessarily want to start. Raysean, you've met a lot of people like doing your podcast, but also you've met a lot of wrestlers for some reason. That's interesting to me. Who's the most famous people you've ever met?
Well, the most famous wrestler that I've met was Mark Henry, if you know who Mark Henry is.
Never heard of him.
Oh, world's strongest man in WWE. I don't know if he really got the title, but if he did, kudos. But I met him at the Springdale movie theaters, which was so interesting because then I realized that his mom actually lived close to me type shit. So I was like, oh, god damn type shit. This is a small world. In my mind,
cool.
you would think they were making like millions and millions of dollars, and your mom stayed next to me. You know, that's just interesting to me. Other people I've met some comedians. I've met some bingo players. I've met Gary Owens. He's a Cincinnati native. I
know Gary Owens, dude. I actually was watching an interview clip with him the other day, I think on Club Shay Shay, and he mentioned he was from Cincinnati. You know, I was like, there's no way Raysean is not aware of Gary Owens. But you met him? Where did you meet him?
Oh, I met him actually. He was at the Funny Bone.
Oh, cool. So you went to one of his shows?
No, it wasn't his show. He was just in the audience.
Oh, that's even cooler. He was just chilling and you were like, hey, what's up? You Gary Owens. What's up, man?
Like the kind of basically type thing. But nice. He had like a few people around him and I just kind of was like, oh shit, what's up type thing. I've also met Corey Holcomb.
Corey Holcomb?
Yep, that's another comedian.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, he's fucking hilarious.
That sounds familiar.
He is fucking hilarious.
Dave, I mean, just so the audience knows, Dave and I met doing sketch classes with Sam Brown, and we've done a couple of them together now. We always have a good time, so that's why he's on the show. But a couple of weeks ago, Dave and I were in New York for the Whitest Kids U Know movie screening of Mars.
At the Tribeca Film Festival.
We went to Tribeca, baby. We went to go to the Tribeca Film Festival, not because we're sycophants of a mid-2000s sketch group that we happen to take classes with one of the founders of, but because we're cultured motherfuckers who go to the Tribeca Film Festival.
And we were told about a specific thing. We were in the know.
Were we in the know, dude? Because listen, this is what happened. Dave and I and Sam Hitch and a few other people from our sketch group met up, went to go see this thing. After the movie, Sam, Timmy, and Darren stood outside and took pictures with a bunch of fans. And all the fucking sketch kids who know Sam from class were like, yeah, we're just going to wait till like the line's done and we'll just say hi to them after that. Cause like we kind of know Sam, you know, so we don't need to take a photo. But me and Austin, dude, we got in line and we waited and we were very patient and we took photos and it was a great time. But on the way out of my photo, Sam Brown goes, hey, man, just so you know, we're going to get out of here. We're going to Ace Bar. I'm the only fucking person that he said this to. So I'm like, all right, cool, man. That's awesome that I got the invite. I'm going to let the group know we'll come hang out. And none of you believed me.
I was so scared. Because like we were walking and it was like 70% of the way there when finally somebody was like, Kyle, did we actually get an invite? And I was like, thank you for somebody asking that. Like,
nobody believed me that we got an invite. But I will ask you this question, and this is kind of what I said on the long 15 fucking block walk through New York City. It was, guys, why would I make us walk 15 blocks to anywhere? Fucking look at the size of me. And two, how would I know to just pull the Ace Bar out of my fucking hat?
No. I think we all believed that you knew they were going to Ace Bar.
Y'all didn't know if y'all were invited.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing.
I think Sam Brown kind of likes you sometimes. It took like at least 8 months, but I've taken enough classes now. I've paid him enough dollars. I've met him in person now. He knows I'm kind of a large, imposing individual. Although he's also a very tall man. Meeting him in person and meeting Timmy and Darren in person. Timmy and Darren is specifically, dude, because I never met them. They were fucking sweet as can be, man. If you don't know who we're talking about, the Whitest Kids You Know is a very underrated, often slept on sketch group from the early 2000s. Go YouTube their shit.
Yeah,
it's also
check it
on
out.
like Shout TV now or something like that. Also, Sam was on the show, the Advice Pod, 2 weeks ago. So check it out. So do you have people who are famous that you've met that are not the Whitest Kids? Because
So I do want to quickly add that I'm also I think you've seen the photo, but like I'm such a old groupie of the Whitest Kids that years ago I met most of them in person as well, including
oh my
Trevor. So
god,
that was
Dave!
really,
I wasn't gonna bring this up, dude, but now that you're bringing it up, you gotta send me the photo.
yeah. I'll send you the photo. Should I send it now, or do you want me to send it after?
I'll put it in post, but let me tell the audience the story from my perspective because I didn't believe that this is the thing that happened. Dave met the Whitest. How old were you in like the 7th or 8th grade?
No. I must have been 22, 23.
22. Oh shit. How old are you now?
32.
32. Okay, so 10 years ago you met the Whitest Kids at like some kind of sketch tour show that they were doing.
Yeah, just some stand-up thing. Yeah.
You met him in Kansas City, correct?
Yep.
So Dave and me and Sam Hitch, we're standing at a bar meeting these guys, and he's like, "Hey, look at this photo of the first time I met them 10 years ago." And the person in the photo is a short, fat black guy. It's basically Stanley from The Office. And like, I literally looked at the photo and I said, "Dave, I never thought I'd have to ask you this, but what nationality are you?" And he goes, "I'm Indian." And I said, "How the fuck did you go from a short, fat black man to Indian in the last 10 years?"
It happened.
It really did. It really did. Your commitment to fitness is literally warped your race.
Yeah, I mean, that's funny. That's really funny. Yeah, I switch back and forth.
Sometimes I'm a black guy. Sometimes I go to India.
Damn, that's hilarious.
No, I got a cool story for the most famous person that I know.
Are they from America?
I think this is a good. I think.
Oh, is this the most famous person I know?
No, the most famous person you've met.
The most famous person I've met. Yeah, wait.
Yeah, the most famous person.
I know Ari Spears, if that counts. Sorry, I talked to him.
Ari
regularly.
Spears, cool.
Yeah, but like you're not friends with him, are you?
Well, I send him messages every once in a while.
Well, then fucking get him on the show, dude. Ari Spears is you ever see Ari Spears blow up at Vlad TV a few months ago? Why the fuck are you trying to indoctrinate yourself into black culture? Dude, he lit Vlad TV up. It was so good, dude. He's a controversial guy, but honestly, I think he's fun. I think he's funny and like a very real person.
I almost got him on my podcast, but I'll talk to you about that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out offline. Dave,
all right.
Most famous person you've met that is not a Whitest Kids You Know.
And what we just talked about made me realize. Okay, I was about to say the most famous person that, similar to Raysean, I kind of knew back in the day and I was able to connect with. So I'll tell you the most famous global person I've met, though nobody here has probably heard of her. You could go to her Wikipedia though. She's got a Wikipedia. Years ago when I was like in college and I was at some startup company, I was like the grunt at the startup company. I just got everybody coffee and stuff like that. And one day I came back and I don't know what even was happening. Everybody seemed kind of drunk and they were like, "Hey Dave, we're going to go out. We got to do some stuff. Here's like this old lady we need you to watch." And I was like, all right, whatever. Like I get such weird jobs here. I'll watch this lady. I have no idea where everybody's going, when you guys are coming back, but I was going to be here anyway. So I just sat down and I chatted with this lady. We talked about what we were doing. So way later, they came back and they told me that I was hanging out with this lady named K.S. Chitra, who is like this major singer.
Is she an author? Oh, no.
What's that? I can send you a link. I don't know if there's a way to send you a link.
You can drop it in the chat. I can probably bring up the Wikipedia page. But she's a major film star?
Singer. So music is big in India. So that was, I think, the most famous person that I've met. And just the funny part was just like how they just kind of dropped her off on me and like left her for like hours while I was just chatting with this lady. Then finally, when they came back, they realized that I had no idea who I was talking to.
Hey Dave, babysit this old lady for us. Krishna Nair Shanta Kamari Chitra is an how'd I do?
Yeah, I
Is
have
that
no
good?
idea. I mean, I'm from Kansas. Like,
K.S. Trithra is an Indian playback singer and Carnatic musician. In a career spanning over 4 decades, she has recorded over 25,000 songs in various Indian languages, as well as foreign languages such as Malay, Latin, Arabic, Sinhalese, English, and French. Also known for her extensive history of collaboration with music composers like none of these people that I've ever heard.
yeah, I was going to say, I don't think any of this really matters. I mean, it matters, but not to us. I mean,
she's also the recipient of 6 National Film Awards, 9 Filmfare Awards South, and 36 different state film awards from 6 states of India, such as 16 Krisala State Film Awards, 11 Andhra Pradesh State Film Awards, 4 Tamil Nadu State Film Awards, 3 Karnataka State Film Awards, 1 Orissa State Film Awards, and 1 West Bengal State Film Awards. Listen, I don't know about the pronunciation, guys, but I feel like given I'm sight reading, right? This isn't a musician thing, but I'm sight reading words, aka reading out loud, and I just did fine. I just did fine. Thank you.
I just want to say she seemed like one of those people you meet and you just get some of the best life advice from ever type shit. She seemed like she'd probably give you some of that type shit. I don't know why, but she seemed like she would. You wasn't paying attention?
I wasn't paying any attention. I was just chilling with her. I remember she asked me what I was up to. I told her that I like doing music, and she was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then we just moved on. We just talked about other stuff. Like,
did you look like that?
You know what that move was, dude? That was her just stiff arming you, being like, "Oh, you like music? 25,000 songs.
Great.
You fucking
what
noob."
else do you like?
No, she probably, when you said that, she probably thought you knew who she was. That's why as soon as you said that, she probably was like,
I remember when my coworkers came back, it was just so obvious to them. They were like, "Wait a minute, Dave, do you have any idea who this person is? Like, why we're hosting this person and all?" I was like, "I don't know what's going on, but."
Yeah, I wish you motherfuckers would have told me on your way out of the office to go get bombed. What the hell, man?
No, that's Grunt's startup work.
Honestly, I bet you she appreciated your company more with the fact that you hadn't known who she was. Otherwise, you would have treated her differently.
I kind of felt the same. Yeah. Especially in Indian culture, everything's like very,
she felt disrespected. Like, who the fuck?
Yeah, she could have felt disrespected. But
talk to me like I'm some regular old lady. Mother, you should have fucking kissed my motherfucking feet, bitch. Like, that'd be hilarious, man.
Do you guys know? I would be surprised if you guys knew this. Do you guys know a voice actor named Tom Kane? He's a really famous voice actor back in the day. Now he doesn't do anything anymore, but he was Professor Plutonium, and he was
I don't even know who that is.
From Powerpuff Girls, I think. Yeah, Powerpuff Girls.
Okay. He's from Kansas City. You know him personally?
Yeah, he was in my neighborhood. And like this is a stupid little story, but like his professional name is Tom Kane. His real name is something totally different. I can't remember what it is. I was way too like blabbermouth, and I told everybody that I knew him personally, which I didn't. And it came down to like I had to write a paper and interview him, and I messed up the deadline, and all of a sudden I needed to interview Tom Kane. And so like at the like last hour, I totally deduced who he was by going through like local school phone books, and like I knew bits about like from people who went to his son's school. I was able to kind of deduce what his actual last name was and stuff. And I just like cold called his house, and he answered the phone, and he was the nicest dude for like complete random college cold call, just like, "Hey man, I'm in a pickle and I need to interview you."
That is so cool.
Yeah,
that is so cool. Not only that it worked out like that for you, but also that he was receptive to it. I'm scrolling through his credits right now, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah.
He's Magneto and Wolverine and the X-Men. He's done a bajillion different things for Star Wars, both the movies and in television. He worked on the Boondocks as Dr. Doomis. I'm not familiar enough with the Boondocks to be able to. He was the announcer on the fucking Eric Andre show for 10 episodes, dude. How cool is that?
Yeah, dude. He has a golden voice. Though I think something happened to him recently.
Yeah, he
he's
doesn't
so
have any
popular.
credits past 2021. It seems like his credits kind of fall off there.
Yeah. I think he had I think I heard that he had a stroke or something like that.
Oh, dang.
Sucks.
There was a period where he was so popular that I would regularly hear commercials on TV and stuff and be like, "That's Tom Kane." Like that's
Yeah.
totally his voice.
Well, I mean, it's not uncommon, especially for dudes who do voice acting work, to have to like kind of fill the space with, you know, like radio spots or television
Yeah.
commercials. Like George Lowe, the guy who voiced Space Coast and Space Coast Coast to Coast, he got that job because he was that guy, but not doing anything super, super successful. But he was in the Atlanta area where Cartoon Network was, or not Cartoon Network, where Ghost Factory was at the time, who made the Space Coast Coast to Coast cartoon. He was just a dude doing commercials on like local radio, and they heard his voice and they were like, "Oh, fuck it, have a come in and read." And he turned out to be a really cool, really funny, off the cuff guy, and he was like experienced with improv, which made him so good for that show.
I love background stories. I think Jerry Springer had something similar. Oh no! It was, this is going to be a weird mix-up, but I think I was mixing it up with Bill Nye.
I mean, Jerry Springer was a radio host before he was the mayor of Cincinnati. Before he was it Cincinnati?
Yeah, he was a mayor here.
Oh, and then he became a TV host.
Yeah, and then he became a TV host.
After the scandal and stuff.
Yes. Didn't he have like a dead hooker in his trunk or something? What's the story, right?
I think it was that.
I don't know.
I automatically went to. Oh, I think he picked up a transsexual hooker.
You ought to hear. You ought to hear some cool. I just want to close off on this. On my point, you ought to hear some cool advice. You just reminded me of that Tom Kane gave me during that call. I asked him how he got his start in voice acting, how he got his reels and stuff. And he told me that apparently he called up the local college, which is my college that I went to. He called up the local college at the time, noticed that they had really bad voice answering machines, and he worked out a deal with them. He said, "I will voice record all of your answering machines, every single option you want for free, and you just lend me your recording rig, like your recording." And
that's pretty cool.
So his big advice was like, when you don't have like a voice and stuff, like do favors and stuff like that, like work your way into getting what you need.
Like, oh. Barter with favors. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back, etc. All my famous people stories, I feel like I've told them over the years on this podcast or Super Dope or whatever, just like because you know me. Obviously, there's the hung out with Afroman during a snowstorm and played Because I Got High on the acoustic with an apartment full of like 25 college kids. That was a rowdy raucous party.
I wasn't coming to Rhode Island. Then I got high. Sliding through the snow smiling. Cause I got high. Tonight we had a good time. And I don't want
There's also the time that I spilled a rum and coke on Lou Ferrigno and the soup Nazi from Seinfeld at the same time. That sounds like a made up story, but that is very much true. There was this little kid running through the hall of a convention. I was there early on a Friday afternoon. Obviously, I'm drinking. I'm at a convention. I got to be in public. Some little kid like zigged and zagged, and I almost tripped over him, and I stopped short. And the person that I bumped into by like one step was Lou fucking Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk. And I was like hitting a brick wall. I thought I hit the wall. It was Lou Ferrigno. And I spilled part of my rum and coke onto his shoes. And I looked up and I realized who it was. And I looked at the person he was talking to, and it was the soup Nazi from Seinfeld. And I just apologized profusely. I was like, I was trying not to step on that kid. I'm really sorry. And I just walked away. Because Lou Ferrigno looked pissed, dude. So did the soup Nazi, but I feel like that's just his default. So I didn't even really think about that. But true story. All of those are true stories. I have a lot of like weird interactions with celebrities and conventions, but I feel like that doesn't count given the circumstance of what we're talking about today. It's got to be like random real life encounters, which Afroman was cool. I've told this somewhere at some point, maybe this show. I met Jason Segal once of Freaks and Geeks, How I Met Your Mother, the Muppet Movie, a billion other goddamn things. I was on my lunch break at the mortgage company I worked for in Middletown. I was off getting high, riding around the back roads. I had to stop and get gas before I went back to my desk because I had to drive home 30 minutes. So stopping to get gas. There's a really long line at the gas station. It's the middle of the fucking summer. It's a super hot day outside. There's like literally 25 people in front of me at the gas station line to pay at the register. And I'm getting like cigarettes and a drink and some gas. And as I'm waiting in line across the fucking store, like clear across the store, this huge dude walks in. He's so tall. And we make direct eye contact. And I'm like, holy shit, that motherfucker looks just like Jason Segal. And my eyebrows went up and like and then I processed it and I'm like, that guy is Jason Segal. Oh my God. But when he saw that happen, I locked eyes and then I processed it. He watched the whole thing happen and then he smiled at me. And I was like, oh my God, that's Jason Segal. I'm not going to jump out of this line of 25 plus people to go say hi to Jason Segal. That would make me look like such a fucking little simp guy. I got to get back to work. I'm going to be late. Just leave it alone. It's probably not even him. You're imagining shit. Pay for my stuff. I go out. I start pumping my gas. This is the weirdest part about the interaction to me personally, was that Jason Segal was driving, I don't know, I'm terrible with car types. It was a very small fucking car, like a Mini Coupe or some shit like that. He was parked in a parking spot directly in front of the building. He comes out of the building after he pays for his stuff. I'm like starting to finish pumping my gas, I'm finishing pumping my gas, right? He pulls his car into reverse and pulls up to the gas pump, not directly on the other side of mine, but on the other side and in the front one space. So as I'm putting my gas pump back in the thing and I'm getting ready to go back to work, Jason Segal is starting to pump his gas. And I walked over to him and I said, listen, man, I saw you inside and I was just going to leave it alone. But then you just pulled your car up here to pump gas and I will really kick myself if I don't say hi to you. So, hey, I'm a big fan. Freaks and Geeks is one of my favorite shows ever. What are you doing here? Like,
as you guys celebrities would just show up.
Pumping gas. Why are you pumping gas? What am I doing here?
It was just like the most fucking awkward word vomit that happened all at once. And he just smiled and he laughed at me. He's like, "Oh, I'm shooting a movie." I'm like, "Oh, in Newport, Rhode Island? That's cool."
I'm like,
anyway,
I thought this was Connecticut.
I mean, Newport's a fucking beautiful place. It is iconic. When you think of Rhode Island, you should probably think of Newport first and foremost, as much as we hate Newport people where I'm from. But he was super sweet. And again, it was the only time in my life I can say that I was genuinely freaking starstruck. And I think about it at least once a week. And I hope Jason Segal hears this story and he remembers me, because I bet you it's one of the more awkward interactions he's had with a fan in the last decade. Was just like, oh, that guy at the gas pump? Yeah, that guy was weird, man. I bet you he thinks about me too. That's my point.
Jason Segal, if you're listening, write in the comments. You should drop a like and post something in the comments.
What we should do is just clip this up and send it to Jason's people and see if he responds.
I'm sure he's listening right now. He's
yeah. Just like he was looking at me questioningly as we were both at the same gas pump, he is questioningly looking at me through the internet, being like, "This motherfucker's still telling this gas station fucking story 9 years later."
You know, it's funny. You were like, "That was my stunt double." I don't even mean.
Right? How funny would that be, dude? You didn't meet me at all. I took my stunt double used to go fuel up my cars on my lunch break. Genuinely though, he was super nice, down to earth guy, and I'll never forget it. But let us know who's the most famous person you've ever met down in the comments below. This has been a fun segment. But what we're going to do is come back tomorrow for more advice, because that's what we do here as advisors. It's another relationship advice post wherein sometimes your girl has got a friend who's a dude and you walk in on them watching TV together and you're like, what the hell's happening here? We're going to be jumping into that tomorrow. So make sure you like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel as we work toward that next subscriber goal, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for more advice.
And remember, Don't be a butt cheek.
My favorite thing about you saying that today was the glasses push-up that you did. Like you were a fucking anime character. That was sick, dude.